I've been playing Genshin Impact since October of 2021, just a little after the game released, and in that time there's been so many ups and downs. We have had amazing nations with great storytelling like Liyue, and we've also had Inazuma. One of the biggest issues I remember with Genshin is Sumeru's first leaks. It was this photo of some of the cast and all of them but one was white, and even if we somehow got past skin tones and the darkest character from the literal desert having a tan, some of the outfits were another weird problem. If you haven't played Genshin, you should know that every region has some basis of a culture inspiring it. Inazuma has Japan, Liyue has China, Mondstadt is a weird mix of Europe, and Sumeru leans into the Middle East and South Asia. So when we had a character like Dory, who seemed like one giant stereotype on a little girl model, and the Archon was a bright white child, people were pretty ticked. Another character I remember being endlessly made fun of was Tighnari. His design feels like a clashing mess and his hair is interesting, but to my knowledge there is some cultural basis in his outfit. Sumeru made itself up to me and seemingly to a lot of people through the story and characters. They did a really good job at storytelling. My favorite part was Nailu's dance that was actually based on Persian culture. It was one of those cutscenes I'll never forget. Sumeru is full of those now that I think about it. Nahita's goodbye to her past self is another, Dotari's introduction, and my favorite boss battle in game, Scaramouche. Personally, I think they butchered the last chapter of the story with Scaramouche, but whatever, it had a good conclusion, so I guess I can forgive it. Sumeru has some beloved characters now, especially the Tighnari, Sino, Alhaitham, Kaveh group. Scaramouche was already popular beforehand as a harbinger, so him being added to the Sumeru cast was a bonus. So while Sumeru had major problems with diversity and using cultural elements appropriately, they at least had a good story and some of the culture they pulled from was used in a strong way, again like Nilo's dance. And then there was Fontaine. Oh my god, Fontaine. My favorite region by far. The peak of Genshin, the best story I've ever seen from this game, a strong, amazing cast, and Child was there. My favorite character of all time. There was not a moment in the story where I was prepared for what was to come. There were amazing twists, it was dark, and almost every character was strong and dynamic. Neuvillette, Arlecchino, and Frina are some of my favorite characters story-wise alone. The region itself was beautiful too. It was the fastest 100% exploration I ever got. I hold Fontaine so dearly to my heart, and every single cutscene was so memorable. The murder during Liddy and Lynette's performance, Child fighting off both the guards and the whale, Frina almost confessing to being human, and most of all, Focalor's execution. I have never cried so hard playing a quest. Even the story quests were great. Neuvillette's, Arlecchino's, Farina's, Linny's, and Clorin's, who I don't even care about as a character, and not to mention Rio's cutscene. How could I forget that? They did amazing. I wish I could go back and replay all of Fontaine. I would in a heartbeat. And when the story finished, I sat back and thought to myself, how is Natlan going to top this? So when the first trailer came out introducing us to the cast, wow, was I disappointed. Natlan had a big problem from the start. It is based on South American culture and that is in the hands of Hoyoverse. It was made clear early on that they did not care. Natlan has a similar problem to Sumeru where every single character is white except for one. Some of the characters have the slightest tan like Mualani, but her skin color seems to change in every piece of art she's in. And then we have the Archon. Malvika wears a tight leather suit with a giant zipper on it that goes around her body. Is that a common Spanish outfit? Because I'm gonna be honest, I've never seen that one before. All of the characters so far are very brightly colored bursts of neon and pastel. It's very pretty, I like it, but it's again missing that cultural touch that every region has with their characters. There's no cultural touch at all. Shilonen, for example, is wearing jean shorts, a fur coat, and high heels. Kinich has cargo pants, I think, and a big blocky headband. Oleron is also in jeans and has this weird half-hood thing going on. And Shaska looks like that. Where's her nose? Even Honkai Star Rail has better designs right now. They repeat the same girl design over and over, and they're doing a better job than Genshin. You know it's bad if I'm praising Star Rail. I hate that game. But hey, I said Sumeru made up for similar issues in its story. So maybe Natlan has a strong story? I just finished 5.1 and I can say that no, it doesn't. 5.0's first story is carried only by Capitano. There were some good parts like going into the abyss, but for the most part it was so boring and just felt generic. There weren't many moments where I was pulled in. 5.1 was better, you just have to suffer from a slow first half. Again, the only thing keeping me going was Capitano. It also sucks that some of the characters as of writing this aren't voiced because of the ongoing strike. It's disappointing that these voice actors have to fight for this long to get AI out of their contracts. To clarify, Genshin doesn't play a part in this, the companies the voice actors are from do, it just sucks that it lines up so badly with an already struggling region. I really hope a deal can be reached soon. I'm hoping this video ages poorly, that 5.2 has an amazing story. If they keep going into this abyss stuff and focusing on Capitano and the Fatui, something good could happen. They ended on an okay note as of 5.1, but compared to the past two regions we've had, is okay good enough? Sumeru was deep into a good story at this point and Fontaine was killing it. Natlan feels like it's just starting after hours of story. And the characters don't compel me at all. I don't feel attached to anyone but Capitano. Shilonen is the only other one who even slightly interests me, and most of that is because I think she's kinda hot. Kenichi was pretty interesting too, but everyone else is just so generic. I can already tell Mualani is going to be used in every single event as the goody two-shoes girl like Ayaka and Navia are. And the region itself isn't that fun to explore. If you don't have the 5-star that correlates to that region's power, you have to possess a monster to unlock it, or use the free Kachina everyone gets. But Kachina is a little girl, meaning she has much lower stamina, so she can't even really run far, and I don't want to use a 10-year-old. The only other option is possessing the Saurians, but they're so much slower. Shilonen has thankfully saved me from this. The other two powers you can unlock are less annoying to use, but sometimes you have to scour to find a monster, which makes me just want to pull a character I don't care about instead. Maybe that was their goal. It's not too late for Natlan to improve. The story is set in stone at this point, but if they continue going up like 5.1 did, maybe there's a chance it will end well. Maybe the next area will be fun, maybe the next characters will be like what we've seen in the past. One of the most recent Genshin surveys asked about cultural diversity, and the backlash on Natlan has been harsh, so they must have at least noticed that. And I hope they do something with it. Otherwise, Natlan's going to continue being a disappointment, which is a shame because Genshin has proven in the past that it can pull off great things. They just stopped caring, I guess. If you enjoy Natlan, good for you. I'm glad some people get entertainment out of this. For me though, I need to see some improvement or I don't know how long I'm gonna keep playing.
The tides beckon.